It's annoying that you can see the mouse no matter what I do. I tried to take it off screen, but whatever. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, how do I load? Oh, there we are. Yeah. Right, let's continue where we left off. Ooh. Blimey. That was a bit disconcerting. If I remember correctly, last time, yes, we were talking about Yoryoku and how Marie would exhaust all her supply if she decided to go after all the bullies who were tormenting Yukari Sakaki, I think her name was. Yeah, she's already taken out the first guy who was like a brutish sort of dude. Well, anyway, carrying on. How are you doing, Marie? Well, have you found a way to save that girl? Higanbana-san. I need to clear my throat. Man, this... I do not have the voice for this kind of game, but, well, whatever. Everyone's spreading rumors about Meso-Meso-san stalking some pathetic victims, looking for her next prey. Although I'm interfering with your hunt, I figured I'd make sure you were doing it right. I just came to tease you. Higanbana had known from the start. She knew that just warning the leader of the bullies wouldn't stop their tormenting. Moreover, if she thought that Marie would despair, she patiently would wait for the other bullies to come along and surround her. It was Marie who had the despairing experience of being tormented in life, who died and once again faced against the problem of bullying, and how she would stand up against this task. That was what Higanbana was interested in. You know what people often say, right? The bullied usually deserve it. But I don't think that applies to you, Yukari-chan. Is that a fact? Yes. After all, she is doing her best to keep from being bullied. Yukari is trying her hardest. In order to not entertain the bullies more, she has stuck to ignoring everything they do. Once it was pointed out to her that her clothes were smelly and dirty, she realized why they started bullying her. And now she pays special attention to her hygiene. She thought that just by bringing an end to that, there would be no more reasons to bully her. However, she already had the label of bullied girl, and it stuck to her. And thus, even though there is no connection to her present self, her torture persists. It's not like you said. Yukari-chan doesn't deserve it, Higanbana-san. Then what do you think? I think the problem is on the bully's side. So, something like if you don't sympathize with them, you won't understand their pain. Over all these many decades since the beginning, I've heard that countless times. No, it's not like that. In a completely genuine meaning, I think there's something wrong with these boys. Are they all boys? I don't think we were made, I don't think that was made clear to us yet. I know Ozaki was a boy, but I don't know about the rest. Ooh. Please have a look. Over at the classroom. Could it be that Yukari Sakaki is being surrounded by all those bullies like always? No. Yukari-chan stayed home today. She caught a cold today, so she's absent. The cold is prevalent in the class. So taking an absence wasn't unexpected. Rather, it was practical. This was neither above nor below the norm. Was Higanbana supposed to see something in this classroom with its favorite tormentee, Yukari Sakaki, missing? She looked to where Marie was pointing with intrigue. Flap. Flap, flap, flap. That's not the sound that's not the word I would use to describe that sound effect, but... What? Oh, okay. By the curtains, they were relentlessly, violently kicking. The bullies were all gathered in one corner and kept kicking without uttering a word. It wasn't an uncommon sight to see the boys playfully beating on something in place of a punching bag. But what they were expressing wasn't playful. Hate, frustration, anger. Wordlessly turning those emotions into violence, they struck the curtains. This sucks! Lame. Normally, they would be teasing Yukari Sakaki and playing pranks on her at her desk. But today, she was absent, so they couldn't do that. They were grumbling out loud. It was as if they were grumbling because Yukari Sakaki went ahead and took the day off without asking them for permission first. Seriously, this pisses me off. My head is gonna explode if I don't get to pound that Sakaki. And that girl, what? She caught a cold? Seriously? Bullshit. But she's not here, it's so annoying. It's like the most annoying thing ever. They said something like she had to go to the hospital and she might not come anymore. It's like she should hurry up and come back so we can mess with her, you know? We're gonna freaking die of boredom. Fucking Sakaki. Stupid Sakaki. You stink. Just disappear. Fuck! While saying just disappear, the lamenting boys pouted inconsistently that Sakaki wasn't there. They took turns kicking the bunched curtains in their frustration, over and over again.
It's almost as if bullying is their drug, and they're all addicts.
Yes, I can see that too.
Bullying is an act of establishing hierarchy in a group-oriented society. And so, if you're not constantly doing that, you'll become uncertain about your own ranking. And so, people cannot stop bullying. Furthermore, aside from being creatures that run society, humans cannot escape their instinct to bully.
Higanbana explained her theory, but Marie didn't think that was the case. It wasn't that she naively thought that humans were different from animals. It was because of a pure unease she felt. They made bullying Yukari a habit. She was their best way of having fun. So on days when Yukari wasn't there, they should have settled for the next best thing. But they did not. While other boys did things like running around and playing with each other, all they did was hang around the curtains, angrily kicking lumps in the folds out of frustration. Flap. Flap, flap, flap. Seemingly out of frustration, they kept kicking. It wasn't because it was fun. It was as if they couldn't find any other fun to have except in bullying. Marie saw that.
After all, bullying is fun. So when you become a slave to that entertainment, it's not strange to become addicted, wouldn't you say?
Well, I think it's odd.
For argument's sake, even if bullying is fun, this is only a one-time incident. For them to get this upset over being unable to bully her for one day, just because Hikari-chan is taking one day off, I think that's a little odd. It's just one day. For them to be this upset just because they can't bully a girl, it's just odd. If you think it's odd, Marie, perhaps it's proper to say it is. It doesn't particularly matter to me. Perhaps I should hurry, corner Yukari, and tempt her to end her own life. I'll carefully boil her, and mixed with that secret sauce you've given her, Marie, she'll be a wonderful bullied soul. And that will definitely have a good taste, no?
Leaving a trail of laughter, Higanbana dissolves into the shadows. But Marie wouldn't let it come to that, because Marie couldn't see their bullying as playful, or by no means a laughing matter. Just like Higanbana explained, she could see that they were only addicts for the drug that was bullying. Does bullying really have the mystical, ominous power to make people slaves like that?
I want to believe that's not it.
Higanbana-san sneered, saying that humans are like animals and unable to escape from it. But I still want to believe. There's no way that humans by nature wickedly take pleasure in seeing the suffering on others' faces. Then why? Why do they keep bullying her every day? And why on days like today, when she's not even here, does it bother them this much? There has to be something. A reason why they're this addicted to bullying. As long as that's not explained, perhaps Yukari can't be saved. Marie was certain of that. Oh, it's Zaki-kun. How you doing? You're kinda down for a while. Yeah, it's a cold, just a cold. Even Ozaki, who had been threatened by Marie and lost his spirits for a while, had recently started regaining his former composure little by little. He might even return to normal before the end of the week. It was a terrifying experience that was hard to forget, but he hadn't been menaced to the point of becoming an invalid. It was still... I shouldn't laugh. It was still an event he didn't want to remember, but even if he told anyone, it wasn't as if anyone would be able to understand him, and he did not want to be thought of as a coward. In other words, it shows that all of Marie's efforts that night had only the effect of distancing him from Yukari for a couple of days. But even so, this doesn't discourage Marie. In order to save Yukari, she had to understand their abnormal behavior. Marie listened quietly, with her ears at attention, and she continued standing directly behind them. Sakaki's all right, but last year... Oh yeah, I remember last year. Seriously, I could put up with Sakaki, but man, it's just not as satisfying, you know? Being ignored by Sakaki pissed me off. It makes me want to mess with her even more. But yeah, last year, man. That stupid girl, why'd she have to go and die in an accident? She had heard that story before. A story seemingly about how they were bullying someone last year. A story about how somehow that girl ended up dying in an accident. You know, there's nobody like her. When we messed with her, we had all sorts of fun. And if we could get Sakaki upset a bit more, she might be fun too. Well, Sakaki will probably never replace Misumi. Yeah. Watching her react was tons of fun. True, true. Well, with every action, there's a reaction. Yeah. The same should be for bullied kids. Sakaki is going to need a lot more discipline to reach Misumi's level. And disciplining her, that'll be fun. Exactly. After all, Misumi just kept getting better and better, didn't she? Absolutely. With Misumi, it wasn't quite messing around. How can I say it? It felt like we were playing together. Yeah. No offense to Misumi, but maybe she was enjoying it too. Or at least that's what I thought. Right, and that's not bullying. I mean, Misumi was really having a good time, wasn't she? She really enjoyed it when we teased her. She really did. That gloomy old bitch would have died of loneliness if we hadn't played with her, right? You bet. She was totally thrilled we played with her. Like hell she was. Nobody would be happy drinking mop water soup. Hey, speaking of... You know, we never got any sort of thanks from Sakaki for playing with her, did we? We sure haven't. She totally looks like it's just a pain to do it. If we hadn't played with her, nobody would want to do anything with such a smelly and disgusting girl like her anyway. You're right. Sakaki hasn't thanked us enough. We've really got to make her remember to do it now. Starting tomorrow, we got to teach her a lesson so she really gets it. Yeah, got to teach her a lesson. And just like that, they thought Yukari had to be grateful to them for bullying her. Their words were so callous that Marie wanted to cover her ears. For a little while, the boys were laughing in high spirits, but sooner or later, they grew tired of conversation and once again appeared as displeased as ever. Until Yukari comes back to school tomorrow and they can bully her once more, their sour mood is unlikely to change. Marie separated herself from the boys for a moment and reorganized her thoughts. First of all, there was talk of the girl who they apparently bullied last year. The student was bullied terribly and then died in an accident. But what intrigued Marie was that it seemed that all of them participated in this bullying last year. Normally, bullying is something that happens inside the same class. She had never heard of other kids from other classes specifically going out to bully someone. Then, maybe everyone in the group of bullies, were in the same class last year. Students at this school change classes with each new grade level. Yeah, it was like that for us too. Since a single grade level has such a vast number of classes, it's not unusual to hardly know anyone in a new class. Because of that, it wasn't unusual for groups of students who had the same classes before to create groups.
Those kids who used to be in class 6, they're kinda rough. They're always picking on Sakaki-san. I even feel bad for Sakaki-san. Seeing the displeased-looking boys, the girls could be heard whispering. Marie drew closer to the girls and listened carefully over their shoulders. Hey, did you know? A long time ago, there was a big ruckus in a neighboring class. Oh yeah, about that bullied girl? Didn't somebody tell her to go jump and kill herself or something? And then she went over the railing. Crazy. Well, everyone used to be from class 6, even the bullied girls. Oh yeah, I think I heard about that. A rumor that lots of bullies used to be in class 6. Didn't Sensei say it too? Something like, why are the former class 6 kids causing nothing but trouble? Oh man, why? Maybe it's because class 6 has nothing but bad kids in it. Say, do you remember that story about the girl who fell off the roof and died being from class 6? They had to be talking about the girl named Misumi. They say her death was accidental, but it seems that the bullied kids had to believe it was suicide, because it seems they were bullied to do so. What? Certainly hearing about an accident from falling off the roof, that was strange. The roof wasn't even part of classes, and students were prohibited access. And even if someone went out on the roof for a time, it was surrounded by a fence that could not be described as short. So from there, for a careless accident to happen like someone falling off the roof, that was really hard to imagine. Marie remembered the girl who threw herself off the roof, having been tempted to kill herself by Higanbana and not listening despite being warned that if she didn't stop these thoughts it would risk her life. That girl also climbed up the fence of her own free will and jumped. There is no possible way that anyone could go over the fence through some careless, thoughtless mistake. Which means, just as she thought, Misumi-san, the former class 6 victim, killed herself. Even though the roof was supposed to be off limits, there's no way she fell by accident. Well, yeah, it's totally impossible. You know, they say that she killed herself because the bullying was so cruel, but that's totally a rumor. I think the school covered it up by calling it an accident. You know the dead girl? I heard she was bullied by everyone in the class. By everyone. Yep, every last one of them. She was bullied by the entire class. Marie doubted her own ears. And of course, the girls she was overhearing doubted it too. Usually, when talking about bullying, it's only a couple of people. Then the majority of the class would be onlookers, or possibly might even cheer it on. But that wouldn't count as bullying. So the entire class was actively bullying that girl? Yep, I heard that all of class 6 bullied her. Seriously, most of the time it was a situation where they'd all gang up on her and beat the crap out of her. But looking at Ozaki-kun and the others, you get a feel for it. Like that former class 6 seriously loved to bully people. Even now, since they can't bully Sakaki-san, they're taking out their frustrations by kicking curtains, aren't they? I wonder if bullying is actually all that fun. Those guys are always saying that, aren't they? Last year's girl was the best, the most incredible fun they've ever had. They're never going to be satisfied with just Sakaki. Seriously? Bullying just because of that? How mean. What the fuck? Why are you laughing after saying that? I swear. Hearing up to that point, Marie separated herself from the girls. It's a bit painful for a yōkai to face the sunlight. Yeah, make excuses, Marie. Entering the shadows, she once again tried piecing the puzzle together based on what she had heard. Last year, something happened in class 6, and the children who became bullies in class 6, they were rumored to have been scattered among all the other classes. To comprehend their persistent bullying of Yukari, she had the feeling she would have to understand what happened in class 6 last year. Are they really just ordinary bullies? Higanbana and the other classmates seemed to think that. However, Marie could not accept that as the truth, and she became more determined to investigate further. She could not figure out a method to rescue Yukari now, but she planned to do whatever it took. From that day, Marie wouldn't come to the classroom again. Just while Marie investigates, Yukari will need to withstand the bullying. And Marie could only pray that Yukari does not lend her ear to Higanbana or the temptations of other yokai. However, in a way that neither Marie nor Yukari could have imagined, Yukari's bullying was going to meet a sudden end. Oh boy. That was pretty ominous. After recovering from yesterday's cold, I once again returned to school. In the past, I hated coming back the day after being absent from school. I would be afraid that in one day I was gone, everything would completely change, and that I would be the only one who was left out. I should feel lucky that didn't happen this time. Actually, perhaps I should say unlucky. In that one day I was gone, nothing happened or changed. Today was the same as any other school day. Those bullies would follow me around, and my exhausting torment would continue. Since I came back to school today, they'd be able to jeer openly with things like, "You reek!" and "Get away from me!" Even though there's no possible way I could be smelly now. Regardless, they would pinch their noses, acting like some sort of terrible stench was coming from me, and mock me. I mustn't react. If I react, they'll have even more fun. So for them, if I don't give them any reaction, they shouldn't be able to find anything fun about it. They bully me because I'm human. If I do not speak and do not react, like a stone Jizo statue, they would have no reason to bully me. I am stone. Believing that for today, I set out to endure the long day ahead. She would never have imagined that all her mornings, not just today, but for every day after that, would be different. Today, I have a new friend to introduce to all of you. All right, come on in. Oh, no. They're going to focus on this girl, aren't they? Fuck. Well, let's carry on then. The morning homeroom stirred with sound at the sudden announcement the teacher gave. Wow, a transfer student. This town has large factories and companies. Depending on parental circumstances and the like, without any regard for the season, people transferring in were frequent occurrences. No wonder it's a big school. If this were any other school, it would have been rare to have a transfer student come at this point in the semester. But here it's hardly unusual. Even so, the event of introducing a transfer student was a rare thing. The class was murmuring in an out-of-place way. I'm Reiko Osumi. Reiko Osumi, okay. It's a pleasure to meet you. Either she was not very good at public speaking, or she was too nervous. It was a self-introduction made with a voice that seemed it would vanish. She was fair-skinned, a girl like a doll. Perhaps it would be better to say she gave the impression of being a very frail girl. Who the fuck said you should be in this class? These teachers need to fucking get a grip. It seemed like she was trying hard to show us she was energetic, but instead it came off as pitiful. And that solidified as my impression of her. Since we now have a transfer student, we'll be changing seats. If you can't see well from where you're designated, please let me know. A drawing specifically created for changing seats made it so that the change would be completely random. My seat is now 2 seats from the front of the same row as my original. Sitting in front of me is the new transfer student. Okay. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. I'm Sakaki. If there's anything you need help with, you can ask me anything. But there's a lot I don't understand. To tell the truth, I still don't even know the road to get to school all that well. Well then, do you know how to get home today? The truth is, I'm not sure. She was probably giving it her best to poke fun at herself or something, but she didn't have any energy in it, so it was just pathetic. It's likely she naturally doesn't have an energetic disposition, but because of that, she must have had it rough at her old school. Yeah! So after having the opportunity to change schools, she must be working very hard to change herself.
I could tell just through from our exchange. What the fuck, man? I could tell just from our exchange. However, I also understood there was just one very important thing. That she wasn't a bad person who would bully me. Maybe she was thinking the same thing. We became fast friends. I was truly looking forward to walking home with a friend for the first time in a long time. Fuck you, Ryukushi, how dare you do this, man? She's adorable.
So, you're on the 4th block. Then we're pretty close together, aren't we? Thank you so much. If I were alone, I thought I wouldn't make it home. Reiko Osumi-san, right? Can I call you Reiko-chan? Yes. You don't have to be so nervous. I mean, it's not like I'll bully you or anything. Well, actually, I've been bullied myself. Me too. I've also been bullied. What? You were?
Even saying that, I already thought as much. I'd sensed it the whole time, something that only fellow bullied students could understand, something like a wavelength. Reiko-chan told me she was also horribly bullied at her former school. I told her I had always been bullied by my classmates, being called stinky and dirty. I also opened my heart.
Eh? So you were too? Yeah. We've both been through a lot, haven't we? How sad. It's just awful. I wonder why there's hazing at this school too. I guess it can't be helped. What can't be helped? Well, just to live, humans have to kill animals and tear plants out to make their meals, right? If they don't kill animals or plants or anything at all, humans can't live. So you're saying bullying is something that can't be helped in order for people to live? I think so. Maybe this thing called bullying provides some kind of nourishment. Nourishment?
After saying something so ridiculous, Reiko-chan had a smile on, but it had a hint of loneliness.
Humans are creatures that are always insecure with themselves. They are creatures that are always uneasy about whether they are inferior to someone or something. When you start feeling that, if there is someone lesser than you nearby, then they make you actually feel like you're not inferior. Maybe it appeases and calms their heart. I believe that this is supplying the heart's nutrition. You know, like how goats have to lick rocks to get their salt content. I wonder if there actually is that kind of nutrition. I think there is. I mean, look at us. Aren't we both feeling it? Huh?
Saying that, Reiko-chan turned around, her face dyed with the colors of the sunset. The evening sun was bright, and I couldn't see what expression she was making.
I'm sorry about earlier. When I heard that you were bullied too, it really put me at ease. By any chance, did you feel the same, Sakaki-san?
That's... I wanted to deny it, but it was instantly blocked. It's true that I did feel that way. When I heard Reiko-chan was bullied too, I was relieved. Why was I relieved? Because I met someone who could comprehend these circumstances? That's not quite right. It's because I was able to confirm something. That is to say, it was because I could confirm that I wasn't all alone at the bottom of the class hierarchy.
A while ago, my teacher told me this. If you're only watching those at the top, you can't feel anything but endless jealousy. So instead, you should look at the bottom and realize how lucky you are. Since there are people who are less fortunate, you shouldn't say selfish things. I think my father told me that once too.
I think that's... Sakaki Yukari saying that?
There you have it. In short, that's the same thing, right?
By looking at people lesser than yourself, you can feel better about yourself. Even though I've heard these poetic concepts before, after hearing it from Reiko-chan, they gave me mixed feelings.
I think that we, the bullied, are that bottom to people. Just by knowing we exist, our classmates can realize how lucky they are. And so, we have the role of being nourishment for our classmates' hearts. That's what I think. I didn't want to be bullied, but since I was given this role, then by carrying that out, maybe I can be of use to my class.
I think that's quite sophisticated. To think that by being bullied, we can be of service to everyone. However, she painfully understood the emotions of the girl who could not do anything without thinking that way. Reiko-chan surely was bullied even worse at her old school than I am here. And finally, after struggling on, she took on that sad, philosophical mindset. There's no mistaking it.
You know, I think I'll be bullied at this school too.
But my experience as a victim of bullying has taught me better. Even at this school, she'll surely be bullied. No matter how she keeps up her appearances, or rather, because she keeps up that pitiful appearance, she just oozes the presence of being a victim.
If I'm going to be bullied again, at that time, I'll be food for all the hearts of my classmates at this school too. That's what I think. Food for the heart. That's right. Food for the heart. I think you've been having plenty of painful memories up until now. But thanks to you, you filled the hearts of a lot of your classmates. They may not thank anyone, but if you were not there, they would never have been able to obtain those precious nutrients for their hearts.
Oh, this fucking hurts, man.
Even if nobody thanks you, you are being thanked by the spirits. Spirits? Yes, spirits of this school.
That is truly a novel way of thinking. Even by just a little, I was able to feel the reward for all of those painful days. I was always saddened by the torment, and only saddened. But to think that it was actually being of use to all of my classmates' hearts? Suddenly accepting it like that was difficult, but her words remained in my heart.
That's why you need that nutrition for your heart too, Sakaki-san. I don't really... You're human too, Sakaki-san. You should wish for those nutrients too. When that time comes, please use me.
What the fuck, man? No! No! Reiko, what the fuck?
Because I'm nutrients for everyone in this class.
She laughed in such a sad way. I thought, what a pitiful girl with such a beautiful heart. I wondered what would become of us from here on. Yeah, me too. Ryukishi, you better fucking not. I fucking hate you if you do. My situation most likely will not change, and I will continue being harassed over how stinky I am. I wonder if Reiko-chan will be able to step forward into a new school and a new life. All I could do was pray. All I could pray was that our classmates wouldn't recognize that unconcealable, bullyable aura that seeped out from her. Fat chance of that. For a while, there was no great change in our daily lives. I was bullied like always. Reiko-chan was unable to mesh with how timid she was, and was alone as always. Just when I was thinking that these days would continue on forever, something happened. Something ominous as fuck. What the fuck's happening there? A clash of metal and a shrill scream rang out simultaneously. Are you okay? Reiko-chan! Ow. The hell are you doing, Osumi? What the hell are you thinking screaming like that? Since we're in the same group, we also prepare school lunch together. Today's menu is curry rice, a popular dish that was beloved by all. When Reiko-chan was moving the stock pot of curry to the pushcart, she tripped with it. Oh no! All of the curry inside it spilled all over the classroom floor, and she fell on top of it in a miserable state, as if trying to cover it.
Reiko-chan, can you stand up? Ow.
What the hell are you doing, Osumi? What are you gonna do about this?
I'm sorry. I must have tripped.
No.
Don't you fucking hit me! The boys, who were all irritated with hunger, all rained insults down on Reiko-chan at once. Reiko-chan's laugh that she'd occasionally stick onto the end of sentences apparently aggravated them. She crouched and crawled over the curry that had spread all over the floor, but even still, she kept laughing with the same forced laugh. Though she thought it would help her avoid their anger, unfortunately it turned out to be like adding more fuel to a fire. Her poor clothes, they were completely stained from top to bottom with curry. It was truly a terrible state. Seeing that pitiful state, the only one with any sympathy for her turned out to be myself. Accidents like this rarely happen during lunch duty. This time, the duties are split up between the different classrooms. However, today was a bad day. Because of that incident during class beforehand, our class's lunch preparations were really late. Even if we went around to the other classes, they had already finished their lunch duties and had their tables set. Hardly anyone could help us. The curry we could scrounge up was barely enough for the class. If we were to divide it among us, each of us wouldn't even have enough for a whole spoonful. Oh, Reiko. Lunchtime. That day, the room was as silent as a midnight vigil over the recently deceased. She couldn't hear a sound save for the clunking of utensils. No, in reality, she could hear it. The whispers and murmurs. Even though every student in the school was eating curry rice, they were whispering about whose fault it was that we were the only ones with the misfortune of having to eat plain white rice. With her clothing sticky and stained yellow with curry and a crushed expression, Reiko-chan ate her white rice to the sounds of clattering silverware. Afternoon break. How many fucking breaks do you get? What the hell? She was swiftly surrounded by the boys whose anger had not been quelled. It's your damn fault. Apologize for it. The hell were you fucking around for, you bitch? All that could be heard were the shouts of the boys. Reiko-chan's voice could not be heard. But based on the exchange, you could piece it together. It turned out her forced laugh was angering them more and more. I wanted to protect her, but there was no way I'd have the strength to push through that crowd of boys. All I could do was wait and stare dazedly until the windstorm of their rage had passed. Don't touch me, you'll leave a stain. Ugh, you reek like curry. It's like you were bathing in it. I could smell it. I could smell our delicious curry on her. If she had a gym uniform, she could have changed into it. But unfortunately, she didn't bring one today. That's why no matter how many times she wiped it down with a handkerchief, Reiko-chan's clothes were sticky and ruined by curry. Eventually, their anger had turned towards making fun of her unfortunate appearance. The boys repeatedly jeered at her, calling her rancid and smelly. That was how she fell into the bullied role in this class too. And meant she had that label forced upon her. The role of being mocked for how I smelled was, up until yesterday, my role. However, after this moment, my social standing rose a notch above hers.
Reiko-chan. Congratulations, Hikari.
Suddenly, somebody behind me spoke while laughing eerily. There was no way they could have known how the scenario of Reiko-chan being bullied would be a blessing for me.
Why are you congratulating me for this? Because it is a celebration, right? This way, starting today, you won't be bullied anymore, will you? I don't know what you're talking about. Can't you see it? See what? Can't you see it? After all, until today, you were the one being bullied. That's why you should see it. The victim crown of thorns that was forced upon you has been transferred from your head to that girl's.
I couldn't deny it. I now understood. This ritual of abuse has newly fallen upon the absolute bottom, Reiko-chan. And indeed, I could see it. I could see the designation of victim that had been bestowed upon me was now being delivered to her. I can't put it into words very well, but it was something I understood intuitively. It's possible I might not be bullied anymore after today. She has inherited that role from me now. Marie sure is an idiot, but she's so cute. She's been risking her life thinking about how she could lessen your torment. Even now she's worrying about it somewhere. But her idea is foolish. After all, bullying doesn't just go away. You understand it, don't you? Getting rid of bullying is an impossibility. Bullying is... how should I put it? Perhaps it is to be distributed like the baton in a relay race. Once it has come around to you, you can't sit with it and do nothing, and you can't get rid of it. There is only one thing to do. Pass it on to the next person. Pass the bullying on to the next person. You may not understand it, but it's just something average that happens with kids, you know? There's not one human who can say they are always perfect. Sometimes they make mistakes, and there are moments when they're made fun of. The baton of victim is something that can be passed to anyone. But those average kids aren't stupid. They don't want to keep that baton forever, so they pass it right away to somebody else. That way, they don't become the bullied kid. Are you saying that us bullied kids are people who are forced to hold the batons? Not quite. You could say that a person who doesn't pass that baton is a slow learner. I probably had that baton up until today, but I didn't intend to force it over to Reiko-chan. That's right. After all, you were monopolizing the baton and squeezing it so closely. But regardless, they found something today. A much more splendid victim than you. They got tired of you and gave the baton away for you. Then they gave it to Reiko-chan. That's correct. So congratulations to you, Yukari. Good fortune has arrived to you who would not release her hold of the baton. You have finally been relinquished of the role of being the victim this day. So congratulations, Yukari. Too funny. You had, and still have, a school yokai in the darkness somewhere who was greatly troubled about how to save you, yet without any effort at all, by the meager fortune of a transfer student. You were rescued all in the blink of an eye. I wonder what kind of face Marie would make if she knew. Just thinking about Marie's dejected expression, it sounds about as fun as gazing at the moon.
What? Huh? Who is this person saying such awful things? Did anyone in the class even have a voice like that? I hope not, because fuck me, it's it's hard to do. I turned around thinking that, but there was nobody there. But that's just not... I know there was a girl with long hair, and even though I know I felt her presence and her hair. Eureka! You ought to kneel down and apologize to us for it. On your knees. On your knees.
I'm sorry.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh, Reiko, you poor fool. Being peer pressured by the boys, she once again got on the floor and showed how miserable she was. I wouldn't be bullied anymore after today. Even so, the pain in my heart only grew. So, I should jump out and cover her, telling them not to bully her, right?
Why on earth would you do something so foolish? Your victim baton has finally been taken away from you, and you're going out of your way to get it back again.
I feel like I'm hearing the voice of that long-haired girl. The words are not mistaken. I can once again take that baton. But do I want to go back to being bullied? I parted with that cursed baton because of the miracle that is this exchange student. Should I take it back again?
What will you do with it? Will you clutch it tightly again and be a victim? Or will you push it on somebody else and run away from the torment? But you can't decide that. Rather, that's up to the new holder of the baton, Reiko-chan, don't you think?
The formless girl whispered, I understand Reiko-chan's personality all too well. There's no way she would pass that awful baton to anyone else. I would bet she would clutch onto it the same way I did. She even took everything upon herself by acting as a nourishment for her classmates' hearts.
Nourishment of the heart?
What interesting things that child says. Well then, why not join them? From now on, she'll become the nutrition your entire class lacks in their hearts. You should partake in that too.
Higanbana, stop.
Are you saying I should join in even though Reiko-chan is being bullied? I could never do something like that. You don't need to take an active role. It's enough just to dazedly remain a spectator to her torment. You don't have to get involved with those cruel boys. Leisurely enjoying peaceful days doesn't sound so bad, does it? I believe that's the peaceful school life you've longed for. You should have your fill. How peaceful and quiet it would be. And occasionally, you can just watch her being harassed. You should recognize and be overwhelmed with just how lucky you are to be able to lead this life now. This is the peace of mind you seek. That nourishment of the heart, no?
Higanbana, you're a monster. I can't find her no matter where I turn. I must be daydreaming. Even so, she was right that this was an inescapable reality. From that day forth, our lives at school and our fates would change dramatically. Hey, you smell something? It smells so bad. What brought that into class, I wonder?
I don't smell anything.
You have no right to talk, you stink like hell. The boys were yelling at her just because Reiko-chan walked into the classroom. When I come into the classroom, the boys don't pay me any mind. Even though I finally have the peace I wanted, I'm not happy. Alright, for our next problem, how about Osumi-san?
I don't know.
The answer isn't Oh, God! The answer isn't curry fumes. Those careful spots are numerous with Reiko-chan. I'm sorry, those careful spots are numerous with Reiko... What? During class, she spaces out, and even when the teacher calls on her, she can't answer well. She's often lost and doesn't know what she's supposed to do next. Whenever that happens, she always laughs. God damn it. Whenever that happens, she always laughs with it to try and patch it up. It's ridiculously entertaining to the boys. Wow. Whoever translated this, you were in a rush today, weren't you? It seems she doesn't know that it's best not to respond to bullying. She wants everyone to ignore her mistakes by laughing calmly. But for all intents and purposes, it's the opposite. Instead, she becomes a laughingstock. Oh, this music as well. Just as vomit-worthy as ever. Can't you smell her? Can't you smell it?
Do I really still smell bad?
You reek, curry fumes. Anyway, it ain't your hands, it's your head that stinks. Wash your damn hair. Even your dandruff smells like that damn curry.
I wonder if I wash my hair, if it will stop smelling so bad.
It will. So wash your damn hair. Wash it. Wash your hair. Wash your hair.
Okay. I'll wash it.
Reiko-chan had been surrounded by the boys at the sink in front of the entrance and was washing her hands. At first, she was told she should just wash her hands with the scrubbing brush, but as the boys got excited, they demanded she wash her head too. Even though it was certainly something she didn't want to do, she didn't want to anger them. She timidly soaked her head under the running water, all the while forcing a smile. Come on, use the scrub brush, it won't hurt. Do you actually take a bath every day? I've never smelled anything worse.
Maybe I forgot to take one yesterday.
What the hell? Gross! Wash yourself! And take a bath every day. This girl is disgusting. You're disgusting. Come on, scrub your head real damn good. There's no way anyone could wash hair with a scrub brush. There's no doubt her hair would get tangled from the brush, and it had to hurt. Reiko-chan's head was soaking wet, and now her hair was completely tangled. When the boys saw that, they started mocking her and said she looked like a monster. Even she was saying she felt refreshed after washing her head, and laughed her usual tehehe. Why would she say that and laugh? The boys were yelling that since they washed her filthy head, she should be more thankful. I decided not to respond to the bullying, but she responds to everything. Suddenly, the bullying she faced clearly surpassed even the degree of torment I dealt with in the past. Now, she is the popular girl in our class. It isn't like when it was with me with one of the boys. The entire class, even the girls, even the teacher. The teacher! What the fuck is going on? What? The teacher! You fucking scumbag! You're supposed to stop this! God damn it! Fuck! They sneer at her, they laugh at her, and they humiliate her. When Reiko-chan comes in, she's made a fool of and becomes the standing joke of the day. Of course, I know that her label as the popular girl is demeaning, but it's dead silent when she's absent. Everyone is somehow bored, and their moods become agitated. Everybody waits impatiently for the popular girl to hurry up and come back to school. Irritably and angrily, possibly even greedily. As they express their discomfort, they eagerly wait for her to come back to school. Then when Reiko-chan does show up, suddenly she's surrounded. And all at once the jeers and sneers are dumped onto her, and she makes them laugh. Laugh. That's right. Even if you were able to close your eyes and ignore Reiko-chan's bullying, she's still without a doubt the class's big hit. Spreading laughter through the entire class, she was like the oil needed to loosen them up. Even if it wasn't obvious from the start, your classmates have a hierarchy and friction is generated between the ranks. So they envy each other and look down on one another. It's impossible for a classroom to be a utopia where everyone gets along. Everyone knows that. Once again came the whispers from the long-haired girl sat in the still empty seat behind me. However, that utopia manifested because of that Reiko Osumi girl. She was the catalyst to unite everyone. Don't you think that's truly magnificent? Is this utopia really that magnificent? Have a look yourself. Look at your classmates, even your teacher. How can you say you're dissatisfied with the entire class being so warm in their togetherness? Teacher, it looks like Osumi-san didn't take a bath yesterday either. Osumi, you have to get in the bath every day, you know. That's why everyone says you smell like curry. Fuck all of you. Everyone needs to take a bath every day and clean their bodies. You all promised to your teacher. If you don't, you'll end up like curry fumes Osumi. Who the fuck is talking? I hate all of this. Yes, teach. Oh my god. See, Osumi's taheng too. If you don't take a bath every day, we'll start calling you Captain Curry. I can't even force the laughter right now. Fuck me, this is terrible. Captain Curry. I guess I got a nickname. Teacher, Captain Curry looks super happy to have gotten a nickname. If you don't want to be called the same thing, don't only take a bath, but wash your hands and gargle every day too. You got it? Yes, teacher. Oh my god. The classroom was overflowing with cheery and obedient students, like a preschool or a kindergarten class. The entirety of the class held the same one interest, shared the same values, and was unified in the same feelings. I watched this and was left completely dumbfounded. For a miraculous moment, the odd world known as school seemed like a utopia. Fuck off, don't fucking partake in this, this is goddamn awful. But this utopia was built on top of a misfortunate stepping stone. The bullied child, Reiko-chan. Seeing her smiling that pitiful forced smile led me to believe I could never think of this as a utopia. Thank you! Thank you! Thank you, Yukari. Man. I bet you're the type who can't eat meat because you can hear the animals cry, aren't you? Dad told me to thank the animal for the food and to not have anything left on my plate. I doubt animals want to be killed or anything. But even though you thank them, you still eat that meat.
I know what it is she's sneering at. The existence of those victims, the ones Reiko-chan called the nutrients of the heart. If it's true that they are essential nutrients, then we should also accept them with gratitude. As if we were eating meat lined up on the dinner table. No animal is born wishing to become our food. In the same way, no person is born wishing to be bullied. If I can pretend not to hear the death screams of the animals and aimlessly go about eating meat, then while being grateful to her precious sacrifice, I should recognize this sense of unity and joy brimming over the classroom. If I ignore the only one being bullied, Reiko-chan, then this certainly is a utopia. This is without doubt utopia.
You could even join that group of people bullying her and spend every day having fun with everyone. I know what it feels like to be bullied, so I couldn't enjoy it. That's why you're alone in the class. That's why you can't blend in with this great atmosphere, and that's why you're left out.
Certainly I might be isolated now, but if I joined that circle tormenting her, I might be able to have fun with everyone. No, you won't. You'll fucking be shoved to the bottom of the pile with her. By mocking and sneering at Reiko-chan, I'd get along with everyone.
It looks like you can't accept it. You're an interesting one, just like a Marine. Pushing misfortune on someone, standing proudly above them, that everyone can be happy as long as someone suffers. I just can't accept that. Well, I think you're still using her hard work. Even if you can't accept it, leisurely remaining a spectator still magnificently lets you stand above her, don't you think? And unlike you, maybe because she let it get so out of hand, she actually wants to be abused. But why? When you were getting harassed, at least you tried hard not to give them any external stimuli to work with.
If you respond to any bullying, you'll just get bullied even more. So no matter excuse me. So no matter how difficult it may be, you mustn't respond. When I was the target of the harassment, that was my only defense from beginning to end. Even during that time, the abuse didn't stop at all, and I thought it had no effect. However, looking at it now and comparing it to Reiko-chan's suffering, I clearly saw the difference. When someone responds to bullies with a forced smile or tries to laugh it up like they're going along with it, it makes them feel like they're playing with them. It just promotes the abuse they face.
Right? Don't you think this is her fault? That's... Nobody ever came to help you in the past. Of course they didn't. After all, the only ones who can help victims of bullying are the victims themselves.
In the past, I dreamt about it countless times. I waited for someone to come and save me.
But no one came. No one saved me. That's right. That's because you wordlessly put up with it to keep from being bullied even more. But Reiko Osumi isn't doing that. What's so funny? I very much enjoy seeing you torn between expressing the righteous fury that has blossomed in your heart and your desire to submerge yourself beneath the peaceful waves that you've finally earned.
I hung my head in disgust at myself. It seems that somehow she was able to read my thoughts. For just an instant, I thought I should do something for her. Since I used to be bullied, I understood better than anyone what Reiko-chan wanted. Even if just in my imagination, I want to force my way through the crowd and protect her. But if I did that, it would mean making enemies with everyone in the class. Boys, girls, anyone and everyone. By bullying Reiko-chan, everyone in the class is enjoying themselves as a community. Bullying her is just as habitual as watching a popular anime in the evening.
just the thought of pointing out each of her failures so they could mock her excited everyone. What would happen if I were to get in the way of that? Just thinking about it is frightening. If someone were enjoying an anime on television and someone were to suddenly shut the TV off, anyone would get upset and glare in animosity. Do I have the courage in my tiny heart to face the glares of everyone in class? Thanks to the miracle of her transferring here, you were able to sneak out of the bullied hot seat. It would be of your own will if you returned to it this time. Just bear in mind, the convenient miracle you've been given probably won't happen again, will it? I knew that without being told. Right now, I'm just pretending to pity Reiko-chan, and all the while gritting my teeth. Because I am able to feel pity for her, there is a little leeway in my heart. Even so, I am chewing over the idea of the joys of no longer being a victim. That's right. Now you're chewing it over. Yes, chew and hesitate in the valley between righteous fury and peace of mind. Yes, very good. Please chew it some more. Your soul is growing more and more delicious. It's steadily ripening, and its nectar is dripping out just like a trickling fruit. You're wonderful, Yukari. Truly wonderful, Yukari Sakaki. Dribble more for me. You can have all the goods. You can have all the good things in life and stay there forever and ever. So bite down tight on that joy of not being the victim anymore for me. Please stop! Suddenly the class fell silent. The clatter of the crowd mocking Reiko-chan stopped. Oh boy, you've done it now. I found myself saying that without thinking. Even I was surprised at the words that came out of my mouth. The teacher, the victim, my classmates, all of them, everyone. They turned to me dumbfounded. Dumbfounded? Or was it silent amazement? Even though everyone in the class was excited and enjoying themselves by bullying Reiko-chan, why did she do it? Her shouting seemed to them like someone dousing them in cold water. It was like they truly couldn't understand it from the depths of their hearts. Their piercing, cold eyes saw what they couldn't understand. Those eyes, those cold eyes. If the teacher hadn't laughed to smooth things over, I wouldn't have been able to take it, and I might have fainted. Yeah, it's just as Sakaki says. Any more of this, well, it might turn into bullying. Everyone promise me, be sure to gargle and wash your hands every day now. Until now, all of them would have happily answered yes, while some of them listlessly responded. Everyone seemed blatantly displeased, as if someone had rained on their parade. As the teacher continued feigning in a naturally good mood, he decided it was time to leave, and he ended class for the day. Then finally, Yukari-chan was released from the glare of the crowd. As if she were dumbfounded, her face showed she didn't understand what had happened. Then our eyes locked. What did I do? What happened just now? It seemed like she didn't even know that. I don't understand. I could hear the quiet chatter in class, uncomfortable muttering, or possibly whispers. And then they would savagely twist their gazes towards me. All of their eyes were watching me, even though everyone, including the teacher, had fabricated such a fun utopia. As if asking why I went and ruined it all, countless accosting eyes were looking my way. For a time, all the two of us could do among them was stand dumbfounded, our eyes fixed on each other. This has gone extremely poorly. But that day, we both left school together for the first time in a long time. In the bright red sunset, after a long time, we went home together. Man. When she first transferred, we often did this. But after she started being bullied, somehow a relationship became awkward and distant. Thinking back on it, I was cruel.
Yukari-chan, I'm sorry.
Wait, Yukari-chan? What? Fuck it up. Wait, no, what? This is Yukari talking to Reiko. Wow, that's more than a little fuck up.
Yukari-chan, I'm sorry. I should have done this much sooner. What do you mean? The bullying. If I had joined in, I would have been supporting it, and I couldn't do that. I think I knew. I always thought that someone who was watching over me far away would save me, but they wouldn't do that.
Pretending not to see it doesn't mean bullying doesn't exist. That was while I was being passive. No, that's not it.
Watching over bullying without stopping it. There's not much of a difference between myself and the people sniggering watching it go on. I mean, because unless the bullies are stopped, no matter where, no matter when, they'll continue bullying on and on forever. If we try and look at it from the bullied side of things, not stopping it is the same as allowing it to happen, right? But everybody seemed to be having fun. Maybe everyone was having fun, but Reiko-chan, you weren't having fun, were you? If I can make everyone happy, then... But are you saying this was fun for you? Heck hell it was fun for you.
I chose not to keep my mouth shut in the face of what seemed like inescapable bullying. But from Reiko-chan's perspective, she thought she was being useful to everyone by being abused. That was a lie she deceived herself with so she wouldn't have to face the pain within. Reiko-chan, I wonder just how long have you been deceiving yourself with that lie? I know, right? I'm getting fucking pissed off.
But I'm always the one doing bad things, and everyone seemed to be enjoying themselves. But was it enjoyable for you? If everyone is enjoying themselves, then I'm having fun. Liar! Jeez, I've had enough! Keep fooling yourself. Fool myself. Reiko-chan, you're just forcing yourself into thinking that it's fun. It's because you couldn't get away, and no one would help you. You've just chosen to lie to yourself and trap yourself in sadness. But you know, you don't have to do that anymore. Why? Because I'll protect you. Protect me? I've decided. I've had it with being scared of bullying. Since I don't want to be bullied myself, why should I stand by and watch while someone else gets bullied?
God damn it. You're fucking right.
I'll never let that happen again.
Reiko-chan stood astonished against the world painted by the colours of the evening sun. I had purged all of my feelings at once. I was huffing and puffing, and my shoulders motioned with my breathing. Yeah, for some reason, doing that made my mind feel refreshed. It was cathartic.
But because I was being bullied, you were able to run away from your bullies. And yet... That's right. I mean, really, by letting you become their target, whether it was good or bad, I was able to escape from being bullied. But that didn't make me happy one bit. I mean, I saw you being abused right before my very eyes. If I was pretending not to see what they were doing to you, and if I was happy just because I wasn't the one being bullied, there's something definitely wrong with that. Isn't that just fine, though? Then Sakaki-san doesn't have to be bullied. Bullying won't stop. There always has to be at least one target in the class. And that's me. That's wrong. I don't think you get it. Saying that someone has to be bullied, that's just wrong. I won't go along with it, and I won't let it happen again. Sakaki-san.
Suggesting that one person in the classroom always has to be bullied is a stupid rule. Reiko-chan was glad to be bullied, so I wouldn't have to be bullied in her place. That's the same as adhering to and supporting that bizarre rule.
I mean, to truly escape from my bullying...
Oh, nope, my bad.
I mean, to truly escape from bullying, that doesn't mean I'd be fine with someone being bullied as long as I wasn't being bullied. Because I really, really hate bullying. You should know the pain of it more than anyone else.
It doesn't matter who's being bullied. The truth is, if bullying happens under my watch, that's the same as allowing it to happen. And I can't let that happen. For someone who has never been bullied before, bullying might be fun. For them, it might seem as entertaining as gathering everyone up and watching a TV show. Because I know what that kind of pain is like, I had to stand up to it. As someone who won't put up with bullying, I spoke up, and it was my duty to fight it. Never again. I'll never just watch you being bullied and say to myself how glad I'm not the one being bullied. But if you do that, Sakaki-san, you might end up being bullied again. If they bully me again, I'll tell them flat out to stop it and then completely ignore them. I won't give them the pleasure of being their target. And next time, you can save me, Reiko-chan. Me? Yep. Next time you will. Of course, if you end up being bullied, I'll be there to save you. And then if it comes to it, if someone else is being bullied, let's fight for that person together. Fight. Right. We'll fight. Until today, I had never thought I'd use the word fight against bullying. I had always thought bullying was something that one could only bite their lip and bear. I thought it was inescapable. That's wrong. Let's fight it. Let's fight the bullying. But you can't stop the bullying. You think that by being their scapegoat, by giving up like that, everyone in class will be happy? That happiness is a lie. You think that if someone is made the butt of all jokes and everyone else enjoys themselves, that's supposed to be a utopia? I won't go along with that lie, that false paradise. Not anymore. I won't. Are you saying it's wrong to try and make everyone happy? Yes. But... Reiko-chan, stop it. You don't have to think like that anymore. By thinking like that, she had been protecting herself and her heart. I think having that protection taken away must be hard for her. She thought she was being useful to everyone, and so she put up with it. The pain of having that role taken away from her must have been crushing. Reiko-chan's eyes began welling up large teardrops, and those tears reflected the colors of the evening sun. Enough. How about you stop covering up that bullying with your tehehes? You're just doing it to make them feel good. And since to them you seemed amused too, you caused them to misunderstand their bullying as fun and games. How about saying a strong no to the bullying, and ignoring them until it stops? I'll help. I'll always be with you. So, you don't have to suffer alone anymore. Reiko-chan, unable to stand it, finally buried her face in her hands and cried. The pain, the sadness she must have been hiding until now, deep within her chest, came pouring out. I also, for some reason, wanted to cry with her, and suddenly the tears came. My tears were warm, and they clearly showed the colors of the evening sun. Then the same colored tears she was shedding as I was must have been as warm as well. It won't stop bullying. It'll never. Right. We can't just simply be rid of it. But, you know, I won't let stuff like that false utopia fly ever again. In that happy utopia, everyone has fun bullying me. Something like that is definitely not a utopia. I mean, everyone might seem to be enjoying themselves when they're bullying you, Reiko-chan, but when you're not there, they'll get really upset. It's almost to the point where they die of boredom because they can't bully you. Isn't a utopia a world where every single person is always smiling together happily? If that's true, then if Reiko-chan can't be happy, then if Reiko-chan is the only one sad in a world where everyone laughs together, I will not, absolutely not allow it to happen. But everyone seems to have so much fun bullying me. There's nothing fun about it. Everyone's just crazy. Sakaki-san, you've been a bullied kid, so you don't know it. The truth, maybe bullying is really fun. As long as everyone is having fun, then bullying is fun too? Fine too. It doesn't matter if everyone is enjoying themselves. I don't want a world that can only exist because of someone else's sadness. The bullied ones can't fight back against bullying with their own strength alone. So I'll save them, and we'll fight back. I'm finally free. The cool evening breeze blows. My hair flows with the wind. Somehow, it feels good. Today's event was the start, and I might be bullied from tomorrow on. But I won't lose. I'm dedicated to the fight, and Reiko-chan will fight for me. The idea that someone can be made a scapegoat and everyone else that remains has their fun. That kind of bullying. I won't let that happen ever again.
Sakaki-san, you're a strange girl.
I'm not strange. I'm normal. It's those kids who think that something like bullying is fun. They've always been the strange ones, the crazy ones. Everyone enjoys bullying though. Bullying? Bullying isn't fun. But it's because Sakaki-san hasn't bullied someone before. And I won't ever, no matter what. Ooh, we're getting some backstory, I bet. It's because you don't know the fun of bullying. What? At that moment, a gust of wind blew. Oh, it's fucking Higanbana. No, it's not. It wasn't like the coolness of what was blowing before. It was humid, warm, and enough to make me sweat. A foul wind. Reiko-chan still had her face buried in her hands, but her eyes were peeking through the slits between her fingers. From there, pure black eyes looked on outwards. Eyes? No. They were pure black. Pure muddy black holes from between her fingers, peeking out. Bullying is fun. Everyone loves it. When someone is bullied, everyone in class becomes one. There are no boys, girls, or teachers. Everyone surrounds me. Hand in hand, they form a ring. Even though everyone gets along. Why don't you join that ring, Sakaki-san? Huh? Reiko-chan? Sakaki-san, why don't you join the bullying? It's fun. It's addictive. If you join in the bullying, you can take anyone's hand. Bullying won't stop. It can't stop. That's like wishing for the sun that rises at dawn that sinks at dusk to disappear. Humans cannot live without the sun. Everyone take up their hands and form a ring for the sun. Everyone, let's dance with joy. Let's form a ring and dance. Everyone, let's smile and have fun. Fun together. If we remember that, no one can forget. No one can escape now. No one can get away from the fun of bullying. Reiko-chan? What the fuck happened to her? No one can escape now. No one. No one. Tormenting people. Everyone has fun. And everyone feels good. Once they experience it, it's addictive. So addictive they don't forget it. Once they start, they can't live without bullying people. Sakaki, why don't you bully me? If you did, I'd let you learn the greatest pleasure you could experience as a human being. You'll get along with everyone, even those bullies who ridiculed you. Isn't that wonderful? If you cooperate and humiliate the scapegoat with everyone, you will be invited through the gate to the Utopia, where you can be friends with everyone. And yet you won't go? I don't get it. I don't get it. I cannot understand you. Until now, everyone has come to see the bullied child. When they're being bullied, they make faces like the world is going to end and hate bullying. And yet, I appear and take their place, and then they bumble into joining the ring of bullies. But you're strange, weird. You won't allow bullying. Won't accept it. Let's fight it together. Oh boy. Who are you? What? Then, Yukari saw something strange. It wasn't Reiko's strange smile before her eyes, but something far behind her. Beyond her stood a curved mirror. A dump truck or something had probably hit it. It was bent a bit, and instead of facing a side alley, it was facing this way. My reflection was in the mirror. Just my reflection was in the mirror. What? That can't be. Since it's standing and facing this way, there's no way it couldn't be reflecting. And yet, my reflection is there, and yet, Reiko Osumi's isn't there.
Yukari stared at the mirror and Reiko, looking back and forth over and over again. With the ominously smiling girl directly in front of her, nevertheless, the curved mirror showed no one else but Yukari. I've been careless. To think there'd be a mirror like that over there. My reflection completely slipped my mind. As if to simply allow her reflection to appear in the curved mirror, she clapped her hands. Then, despite how late it was now, the reflection of her back projected onto the mirror. However, the figure that reflected there was a different thing than the girl who stood before her. And now she finally realized there was no room for doubt. Reiko Osumi wasn't human.
Who are you? You're not human.
Oh no. Oh god. It's like a witch from Umineko. Indeed. I just took on the guise of Reiko Osumi. To think I would be found out in a place like this. How troublesome. If I let you spread word that Reiko Osumi isn't human, that will cause even more trouble for me. Reiko's eyes glared and shined ominously. Her grin cut through her face to the point of being ghoulish, and she even licked her lips. Reiko, with her ghastly reflective eyes, grew larger and larger. She drew so close that she almost hit me with her nose.
Who are you? If you're not Reiko-chan, then who?
You don't need to know. I'm going to eat you right here. Slurp you up, see? The moment Reiko held out both arms ready to devour Yukari, something violently sent Yukari flying. She couldn't tell what happened. Her backside hit the asphalt, and it took her a bit of struggling to understand what had happened.
That's as far as you go, Reiko Osumi-san. And the name you went by last year, Urara Misumi-san.
Oh.
Oh. Why, isn't it Meso Meso Marie? So you're the one who's been sniffing around my territory.
Yukari had been protected. The moment Reiko was about to eat her, a spectacled girl saved her.
I don't know who you are, but thank you for saving me. You were in danger. This person is a yōkai. Furthermore, she's the very, very nasty kind.
So there you are, yōkai that aren't nasty then.
Marie, you say such amusing things. Please don't come any closer than that. I won't let you have this girl.
Marie held out her arms, protecting Yukari behind her. Reiko, rather the yōkai with Reiko's name, saw this, shrugged her shoulders, and laughed.
You're a school yōkai? Oh, of course. An introduction then. 7th ranked school yōkai, I am Sumire of the Twilight.
The 7th ranked yōkai, Sumire of the Twilight. One of the ruling yōkai of the 7 mysteries handed down in the school. Playing eternally in the schoolyard as twilight approaches, you'll suddenly realize there's an unknown girl blending in and playing. Even if you wonder if she's someone's friend, nobody seems to care. And even if you ask everyone later, she's a mysterious girl that nobody knows. But if you follow after that girl, even though the darkness of the night is nearing, you won't realize it and you'll play forevermore. That is the rumor of how you would be spirited away.
Sumire-san, I've taken the liberty of checking up on you. I already know all about you. I know about the kind of hunting you do.
Oh, I am but a powerless yōkai. Naturally, I can hardly go to the trouble to hunt. Therefore, I do not search for prey. I birth hunters. Sumire's hunt. It was bullying itself. However, she does not bully anyone on her own. She creates a victim, and from the infinite amount of harassment born from the bullies, she takes their souls bit by bit. Last year, you presented a transfer student in class 6 named Misumi, and she became the victim, the instrument you needed to turn the entire class into bullies. The tears I shed are the devil's tears. They cause those who bully me to feel the devilish pleasure of bullying. Sumire's tears have the power to bewitch humans and stain their souls with darkness. Those who harass her become obsessed with how enjoyable it is. Their souls become corrupted, and they stoop to the level of becoming a school bully.
Before you deceived the entirety of Class 6 with that power and turned them all into those terrors. Then she suddenly disappeared from Class 6 after faking her own death in an accident. Then, upon losing their target of torment, as though they had been reduced to addicts, even after changing classes, they kept bullying throughout the school year in their respective classes. That bullying scrapes away at the pitiful victim's soul, and that is presented to Sumire as the spoils of her hunt. Those delightful children from the former Class 6 are still doing splendidly for me even now. Oh, but a class of 40 people is still not enough. So this time you took the name Reiko Osumi, and you tried to turn another class into bullies. Oh, but the quantity is far too meager. I intend to proceed thusly, turning class after class into full-blown bullies. And when that number swells to 100 or 200, they will shift grade levels and spread all year around. Before long, the entire school will be blooming with my bully flowers. What? Oh, to sup upon their sweet nectar. Oh, this is it. This is the refined hunting of Sumire of the Twilight. Tricking those people and turning them into bullies, causing so much bullying in so many classrooms. Have you thought about how much suffering you've caused? Oh, you're a strange one, Marie. What's wrong with a yokai deceiving a human? Besides, as you know, us yokai cannot do anything but entice and deceive. Moreover, if they hearken to our words and surrender their hearts to us, it's by their own human wills. Oh, and what do you think I did to this class? All I did was spill some cafeteria curry. Those children are the ones who approached me and made a laughing stock of me and persecuted me. Cruelty is their nature. Sumire was cackling. She was sneering at the shameful human beings are. It was apparent that her tears had devilish power, but her power was not absolute. Like how Yukari opposed it, it is not impossible to fight against the temptation to haze. However, that wicked temptation to sneer at people's failures is surrendering your soul to that devil. What kind of person? Why would anyone create bullying? You should have obtained plenty of souls through that hunt, Sumire-san. I'll ask you now, please stop your hunt. You're telling me to desist? I heard from Higanbana. I heard that Meso Marie was a troublesome creature that gets in the way of hunting. Regardless, we are school yokai. We have the freedom to hunt. And we have the freedom to stand in the way as well. And so as a matter of course, I have the freedom to decline your suggestion for me to stop. I'm asking you, please leave Yukari-chan's class alone. Please. And what do you intend to do if I say no? As the 8th ranked school yokai, as Meso Marie, I will stop you. Oh, that is quite troubling. It's rumored that you have the power to crush every bone in the body to pieces. I don't know if a feeble being like myself could cross swords with you. She said as much, but Sumire snickered with sarcasm. Among the school yokai, she was certainly of the feeble sort, but the same could be said for Marie. Marie swallows with a gulp, and she prepares herself. Yokai cannot be persuaded with words. They have to be taken down by force. That is the only way to persuade a school yokai. It's their unwritten rule of diplomacy. Marie may be a half-wit dunce, but once she makes up her mind, she can be pretty stubborn, you know. Higanbana-san. Well, the dancing Higanbana, how do you do? Oh, how unusual to see you show yourself in a place like this. Suddenly, Higanbana was on top of the wall. Looking down on the two facing off, she was laughing. Marie, you found out Sumire's true form, yeah? The way the former girl from Class 6 was acting was too strange. So I thought maybe it was like this. Higanbana seemed to make fun of her with a smile. Marie let loose a brief sigh. In all likelihood, Higanbana knew from the very beginning that everything was Sumire's hunting game. She must have thought it was amusing watching the clueless Marie running around every which way. You could have told me. Higanbana-san, sometimes you can be so mean. But Marie, you're so fun to watch. Anyway, Marie, so you're fighting to protect Yukari?
then shouldn't you fight Sumire-chan seriously? Huh? Oh, come on. You really are a dunce. Well, Yukari, you understand, don't you? If you defeat Twilight Sumire, Reiko Osumi, then what will happen starting tomorrow? What? What? Yukari, who had been left out of the conversation, was suddenly sucked back in. Don't you get it? If Reiko Osumi suddenly disappeared, starting tomorrow, what would happen to the bullies in your class? You don't mean... How despicable! Marie finally realized it. She can't easily defeat Sumire. And if Reiko Osumi disappears from class, then wouldn't her bullying addicted classmates search for the next target? As long as Reiko Osumi is there, just who is it that escapes the brand of the bullied child? You don't mean... You! Bullied child, Yukari Sakaki! Without me, you'll just go back to being the target once more. You were just teased by a number of former Class 6 members. But this time it won't be so gentle. Oh, even now the class is nothing but wolves starving to abuse someone. Starting tomorrow, you shall know what it feels like to be a chicken thrown into a cage of starving wolves. Hikari, you've seen it every day, haven't you? Just how much have all your classmates been abusing Reiko Osumi? You've watched from a distance, and you've felt safe since it had nothing to do with you, right? They made fun of me and insulted with "you stink, you reek." Even the teacher belittled me. I was made a laughing stock in class, and... Once again, a repulsive feeling crawled up Yukari's spine. She wouldn't accept that. The suggestion that ever so slightly, somewhere deep in her mind, she saw Reiko being bullied and was glad it wasn't her, that was something she couldn't accept. And starting tomorrow, she would suffer again. It was guaranteed, and she was afraid. You don't like it? Being bullied by the entire class, that is? Oh, let's fight the bullying together. You have no friends to fight with. You'll be alone, humiliated, and even the teacher will sneer at you. You'd think you can fight even then? Even when there were just a few former Class 6 people doing it, all you could do was ignore it. This time when you're bullied by the entire class, just how will you fight it then, huh? Yukari couldn't say anything in reply. Hanging her head, trembling and biting her lip, she finally folded her arms to stop her body from shaking. Marie couldn't say anything in response either. The desire to save Yukari, the desire to stop Sumire's hunt, her resolution hadn't wavered one bit, but she still didn't know how she could fight back. Marie wasn't afraid, but her whole body shook from frustration. Marie, there's nothing you can do, okay? Step aside. Sumire-chan is a fun girl and all, but she'll be really mean to you, you know. I won't budge. I won't stand by and watch as Yukari-chan is made into prey for a yōkai. Oh, then how about you try fighting me? Perhaps the terrifying Meso-Meso-san's arms will try grabbing me and crushing all the bones in my body? Oh, how scary. Sumire slowly walked up to Marie. Both her arms were extended as she shrugged. It was as if she were saying, just try and hit me. Marie's fists were shaking, but she could do nothing. When she defeated Sumire, no. If she defeated Sumire, Yukari would be thrown into a maelstrom of terrifying abuse from tomorrow onwards. What's the matter? There's no way the legendary Meso-Meso-san would be afraid of a powerless yokai like myself, is there? Marie, step aside. Can't you see? Sumire-chan is already 2 pages ahead of you. But I won't budge. I said I would protect Yukari-chan. Foolish Marie. Even though I keep telling you there's nothing you can do. Oh, you can't do anything then, Meso-Meso-san. Then I give you my thanks. That you would dare interfere with I, Sumire of the Twilight, and interfere with my hunt with such boastful and sharply courageous words. I wholeheartedly commend you. Just let it go.
After all, you still don't know the loneliness of our world. Well then, I'll be the one to teach you that. Man. From Sumire's shadow, suddenly countless massive black arms sprout forth, and they creep towards Marie, and they entwine around her as if caressing her. You're not running? If you abandon Yukari Sakaki and leave, I would be fine with letting you go, you know? I won't abandon Yukari-chan. You can't stop me, just like you can't stop the bullying at school. I'll teach you just how rewarding your foolish resistance is. All at once, countless arms jumped, and while seizing Marie, the arms pull her into Sumire's shadow. Sumire's shadow was a jet-black nightmare lagoon. The thick mud was filled with Marie's memories of being bullied when she was alive, and they tormented her. Almost like a washing machine, the countless arms violently tossed Marie in the swamp. With a slop slop dump dump, she was hit countless times, submerged down, stirred up, and thrown around. Foolish Marie. Sumire-chan, go easy with the scolding, okay? That girl has in a way become my friend after all. I don't wanna. After all, this is Sumire of the Twilight's first encounter with Mesa Mesa Marie. Oh, I'll have my first impression permeate into her flesh and bones. What's wrong, Marie? If you're getting tired at this rate, then you won't be able to handle being school yokai, will you? We're gonna dig deeper, deeper, and I'm going to bury you deep within your swamp of memories of abuse. This is so bad. Sumire was relentless. When Marie was bullied in her other life, she lost her life. And by having those memories revived, they brought back the terrible pain of being killed all over again. And with that in mind, she was dunked into the bog of agony again, over and over again. Submerged deeper and deeper, slapped again and again. Tormented by repulsive memories, Marie's eyes shot open. Her face became a blur of tears, snot, and drool. Even so, Sumire showed Marie no mercy. For the yokai with power using it against the powerless yokai, this was bullying itself. Being shown that grand spectacle, Yukari couldn't move. She could only shiver in terror. Man, Marie... Oh, I've knocked my microphone. Poor Marie, I feel bad for her. She's got the right idea, but... man. Before long, the quivering shell of Marie, damp with tears and snot, was tossed to the curbside. After the merciless Sumire's torture from hell, about as much as would be expected. It was so relentless that even Higanbana surprisingly left in the middle of it. Ooh. Yukari rushed over to the girl who had become her martyr in order to protect her and shook her body. Hang in there! Hang in there! I'm sorry. I couldn't be of any use. No, thank you for fighting for my sake. Don't lose. Don't lose, no matter what. Ah, damn it, Marie. Those were her last words. Then she completely lost her yokai power, and like a mist... Wait, didn't we learn that this was called Yoryoku? Well, whatever. And like a mist, her body dissolved and completely disappeared. For now, no. Until the end of time. I don't think she'll bother me or anyone ever again. What a cruel person. Marie blurted something out about protecting you, right? Then I've decided, starting tomorrow, I'm going to completely disappear. Starting tomorrow, the bullied child in class will be you, Yukari Sakaki. Exactly like the pronouncement of a death sentence, Yukari felt all the blood in her body freeze. Oh, the 40 bullies in class I've corrupted with my devilishness will drool in anticipation of you coming to school tomorrow. Let's have fun. Fight bullying? I wonder, can you still utter such nonsense? Yukari Sakaki, yield to me and swear to bully Reiko Osumi tomorrow. Are you saying I should join the bullies? Exactly. If you do, I won't disappear. I'll gladly continue taking the abuse from the bullies in class starting tomorrow. Understand? The chaos even tormented Yukari by giving her a headache. If you're not bullied, you're bullying.
That's the providence, the divine law of school. Even though I'm not being bullied, I'm not bullying others. Since I go against that providence, I'm probably a heretic. No, I don't want to be bullied again. I don't want to be sneered at by everyone as they go, "You stink, you reek." At any rate, Reiko Osumi is a yōkai. It's not like being bullied hurts her at all. Then maybe. Let's hear your reply, Yukari Sakaki. Then again, maybe I don't even have to ask. I refuse. Daga kotowaru. Oh, I thought so. Pretending I don't see it just so I don't get bullied, or even to add to the harassment. I won't do that. That, to me, is my fight against bullying. As she said it, she was already regretting it. However, after saying the words fighting against bullying meant she had to bear the consequences. Sumire of the Twilight sneered. She sneered at the foolishness of a human whose righteous fury that had gone away came back. Starting tomorrow, your world will change like that. The withdrawal from my tears are awfully dreadful. Your class will transform into starving beasts. You should look forward to when tomorrow comes. I will erase my presence, and I will simply watch over what I scraped off the class's souls. I am looking forward to how delicious your soul will be. Leaving behind a cruel laugh, Sumire disappeared. After that was only the usual scenery from the end of a school day. It made it seem like the terrifying spectacle from only seconds ago was like a daydream or a hallucination. But it was clearly not a daydream. The yokai's horrifying promise of tomorrow was burned into her mind. Oh no, no, no! Then, the next day, Reiko Osumi suddenly disappeared. And as though she had never been there from the very beginning, she disappeared from everyone's memories. But what they did remember, what they couldn't wipe away, was the forbidden pleasure of bullying. And, naturally, they aimed their attacks right at Yukari. Ugh! 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 Something stinks like curry! It starts stinking like curry the second Sakaki comes in. Since the human they had been bullying up until yesterday, Reiko Osumi, was not there, it seemed that Yukari would be next. Just how yesterday it seemed natural to target Reiko, just as naturally now, the attacks turned towards Yukari. Quiet, everyone! Quiet! Just because Sakaki stinks of curry doesn't mean you can keep talking forever. Ah, it reeks. Somebody open a window. Come on, get to your seats. We're deciding on seats for our social studies field trip. I sure as hell don't want to sit next to Captain Curry. Sakaki, make sure you take a bath the day before, okay? Promise your teacher, won't you? I do. Every day. Then why the hell do you stink so bad? Fucking hell. God, this fucking class. Yukari bit her lip and hung her head, enduring all 40 people in the class. No, including the teacher, 41 was sucked into this whirlpool of bullying. Because she used to have her bullied companion, Reiko, Yukari had dared to say something as outrageous as "let's fight together." Even so, is there even a way for someone to fight back against bullying all by themselves? There isn't one. Of course, to suggest we could fight bullying was nonsense. Thanks to Reiko-chan, I hadn't been bullied, so somewhere in my heart I must have felt happy about that. Aside from those being bullied themselves, bullying must seem so trivial. So thinking I'd somehow be able to fight against it, that was a delusion. However, on that day, even the yokai called Marie fought to protect me. Just so I wouldn't have to get my hands dirty against that terrifying yokai Sumire. She had terrible things done to her, and she couldn't escape. Even though she could have given up on me and ran away, she didn't. That isn't a fight, because Marie could not interfere. The same goes for bullying. In the face of her abuse, Marie fought resolutely, and didn't run away even at the very end.
What are you hanging your head for? Listen when people talk to you. Oh, I bet Sakaki-san was just off in La La Land. Your damn curry stench is getting on everyone's nerves. You want to tell us you don't feel you're responsible for that? What good is it going to do if you say anything? It's all your fault that people call us the stinking curry class. Nothing. I gave them no response. If I did, I'd just be hit by a response 100-fold worse. Withstanding it and ignoring it is the only way I have to fight. But I know, if I snap back, I'll be snapped back at 100 times over in return. But even if I don't, it will still increase by 5, maybe 10. No matter what I do or don't do, there is no way to stop the bullying from escalating, and there is no rest for the bullied. Why the hell won't that curry stink come off her? You think it's her clothes? I bet this bitch doesn't even wash her clothes. Your clothes reek something fierce. If you ain't gonna wash them, we'll wash them for you. What? Wait, what are you... Come on, we're washing them for you, so take them off. It's only 'cause they stink, so stop struggling so much. Oh my god. You boys are pervs. God damn it. Take off your socks, strip them. Wash them. Ew, don't throw them over here. Stop it. Stop it. Take it off. Take it off. Resist all you want. We're gonna wash them for you. The swarming boys stripped Yukari off her clothes, one piece after the other. While watching this display, the girls giggled in their shrill voices. Nobody tried to stop the brutality of a girl having her clothes torn off. Countless violent arms were ripping at Yukari's hair, grabbing her clothes and ripping off her buttons. Her skin was exposed and everyone could see her in her underwear. None of the boys even once thought that they were taking it too far. They only thought it was at the same level as some petty horseplay around a campfire. They even planned to take off her underwear. Fucking hell, man. Fuck, man! Ugh. Yukari resisted the boy's malice that knew no end with all her might, but there was no way she could stand up against such a large crowd of boys. Strip! Strip! Let's watch the whole set! Stop it! Somebody help me! Fucking hell, man. In the shadows of the classroom, fucking bitch! You fucking cunt! I swear to you! Sumire was watching the spectacle and laughed with a vile grin. To her, what the boys were stripping off Yukari were not her clothes. It was her soul. Her soul scattered and drifted through the classroom like feathers ripped from a down pillow. Simply delectable. Plucking one of the fragments and placing it to her mouth, she stickily placed it to her tongue and relished it as it dissolved. What's the matter, Yukari? Weren't you supposed to be fighting against the bullying? I'm simply dying for you to show me. Stop it! No! No! Struggling with all her might, Yukari writhed against the boys and managed to push her way out of their circle. Half naked, she burst out of the classroom and fled. There was no place to run to. However, if she did not run away, they would violate her. The boys also burst into the hallway. The fun they'd had stripping Yukari Sakaki had now changed into the fun of chasing her down. Ah! What the fuck? Who did she bump into? They heard her short cry. With that was the cry of countless girls. Something's there. The boys swarmed and overlooked the staircase. At the bottom of the stairs, Yukari had collapsed. Having stumbled over something, she fell down the stairs and somehow seemed to have split her forehead. The fresh blood was simply colouring the floor. That sight seemed to have been powerful enough to return the excited horseplaying boys back to sanity. But what was it that Yukari had tripped on? Even though there was nothing she could have tripped over, she certainly had tripped over something they couldn't see. Yukari, in her hazy subconsciousness, found the presence of that long-haired girl. What an unbecoming pose, falling down the stairs, splitting open your forehead. You're such a klutz. I think I remember her. She was with Sumire, the yōkai named Higanbana. Are you the one who made me fall? That's right, because you became such a delicious soul for me. I thought maybe I should snatch up my food now. Now, won't you show me some gratitude? Now you'll be carried to the infirmary. In just a short moment, you'll be able to escape from Sumere's children's harassment. Am I going to die? There's no way you'll die with just a little scratch of your forehead. I don't kill. I only suggest how much easier it would be for you if you just took your own life. Come, I shall take you to the infirmary. Then you shall know the pleasures of running away from your bullying for a brief moment. And then you will not be able to return to your class. You shall be an inhabitant of the infirmary forever and ever, my precious prisoner. Yukari's consciousness began to recede. The teachers held her and started transporting her to the infirmary. Is no one going to ask what led to this? Fucking hell. I have to fight. I won't be a resident of the infirmary or anything like that. I have to do this for the yokai Marie. I told her she could run away and leave me, but she stayed, protected me. But at this rate, I feel like I may just listen to that dark temptation, that if I die in my sleep, nobody would be able to torment me anymore. Somebody help me. Ah, my goodness. For a few days after that, Yukari Sakaki decided to be absent from school. It wasn't that she was scared of being bullied and decided to run away from school. Whether it was because her wound from when she fell down the stairs got infected, or if Sumire or Higanbana had been nibbling at her soul. For several days, she had a high fever and was unable to get out of her futon. Every day, she was tormented by the seductive idea of dying from a fever. If she did that, she wouldn't have to go to school. They couldn't bully her, but still. This one is stretching on a while. The next day, the students took the bus to their social studies field trip. The destination, well, the students didn't care. As long as they could escape from the cramped classroom, whatever the outing was didn't change anything. The buses were escorted up the mountain path. No matter which bus it was, the children were overflowing with excitement in their voices. However, Yukari's class's bus was silent. Even though the other buses were flooding with laughter, only this bus was frozen over with an oppressive silence. They were not all sleeping. Everyone was looking downward in displeasure and dissatisfaction. Some would utilize their vocal cords, but their grumbles just wordlessly expressed their agitation. All of them were in withdrawal. Yukari Sakaki was resting for days. Everyone in the class is a bully. They couldn't go on another day without someone to bully. Well, ain't there another fucking butt monkey in the class? One of them fucking deserves it at least. That irritation made them furrow their brows and grind their teeth. Ah! This is pissing me off! Somebody screamed. With that, everyone's displeasure flowed out like a dam breaking and gushing forth. Why the hell won't that bitch Sakaki come to school? Messing around with us and playing hooky. How dare she? If she comes trumping along again, smelling like curry, we'll really wash her off. But we already know Sakaki's gonna stink like curry. Yeah, if Sakaki comes around, let's throw her a big welcome party. By the way, boys, stop putting cockroaches in Sakaki's desk. I don't even want to think about what would happen if they got out and came towards us. It's fine, we'll smash them till their guts come out. Ew! It is. How many are there now? 6? Since I put one in yesterday too, there's 7. Ew, I can't believe, boys. Man, fuck these guys. One would think that a friendly conversation had finally started up. I'm actually giving myself hiccups with how much I hate these guys. Fucking hell. But once Yukari came to school again, all of it would turn into a deviously warm bullying reception. They'd glare with an evil twinkle in their eyes, and once they'd laughed at her, it would be hard to feel the warmth of humanity from them. While Sumire watched this, she smiled in satisfaction. They were adorable children who knew that forbidden pleasure would next year be scattered throughout the school when the classes change. They'd likely bloom in all their destinations, where from then on, Sumire would gulp down all of the honey from their flowers. My flowers will fill this whole school. How exuberant! How exciting! You fucking bitch, I swear. Ozaki-kun, can't you come play with us too? You know, the way we used to. Hell yeah. I know you were totally crushed that one time. Well, let's do something fun again, just like old times. The formerly obstinate bully Ozaki had been threatened by Meso-Meso-san and had sworn he'd never pick on Yukari Sakaki again. However, his eyes warped into a wicked glare. He broadly sneered. You're right. The hell is Meso-Meso-san anyway? That had to be some sort of big misunderstanding. All right. If Sakaki comes back, we'll give her a feast she'll never forget, just like old times. Off of Ozaki-kun's special menu. What are we going to do this time? We'll put cockroaches in her desk, smash them up, put them in curry, and make her eat it. It's perfect for Captain Curry Sakaki. From now on, she'll be Captain Cockroach. Hell yeah! Ew, that's gross. Oh my god. Sumire blended in with the bus as it was wrapped in rowdy laughter. But just then, the bus suddenly jerked and shook. The driver screamed and violently turned the wheel. The bus swung vigorously, and the inside of it was filled with screams. The bus driver swore he saw it. Out of the blue, a girl wearing red clothes appeared in the middle of the road. In that split second, the tires exploded and gave a huge rumble. Oh, thank you, Higanbana. The bus's large build turned it sideways, and it crashed through the guardrail. The road was a highway deep in the woods of a mountain. Past the guardrail was a dark green and thick valley. What is this? What the hell? Sumire stared dumbfoundedly as the bus tumbled down to the bottom of the valley, and she looked down at the flattened frame of the bus as it blew clouds of smoke upwards. It fell from this height. There's no way to save anyone. My beautiful flowers! What happened? What happened to you? At the sound of that memorable laugh, Sumire whirled around. There, sitting on the guardrail, was Higanbana, with her hair fluttering in the wind. What do you think you're doing? What did you do to my lovingly seasoned, wonderful, adorable flowers? Thanks for the meal. I guess snatching one up from the sidelines can be tasty as well. Why would you do something like this, you bitch? Well, we're school yōkai, aren't we? You said it yourself. We have the freedom to hunt when we want. But we also have the freedom to get in the way if we want to, right? So then, of course, we have the freedom to steal from the sidelines too. Higanbana, you bitch! And of course, if you have any complaints, you're free to talk about them too. Shall we dance? We can dance with the third-ranked school yōkai, the dancing Higanbana. If I recall correctly, you like to play for a long time. So how about it? It's been a while, so won't you come and dance with me? Just a bit? Sumire hung her head and shook with rage, but she did not say anything back. The dancing Higanbana, a yōkai known for her fickle temperament, simply found her prey and ran off with it at the tastiest moment. Nothing more and nothing less. If the plan for your hunt gets too big, it makes it easy for other yōkai to catch a glimpse of it. Her prey simply didn't match her rank. Next chance I get, I'll be the one stealing your prey. I shall remember this. See you later. Let's meet in the moonlight of the school sometime. Sumire stamped her feet in frustration and disappeared. Down below, the bus driver crawled out from under the wreckage. If someone were just checking the state of things, it would have looked like there were no survivors. Higanbana ate an entire class. The souls of those pitiful students that drowned in the pleasure of bullying and sunk into its dark depths were consumed once and for all. When the driver crept up to the roadway, there was nobody around. But in the distance, he could hear the cruel laughter of the school yōkai fading in the wind. I heard about the accident through a phone call from school. My fever had gone down, and I would be able to go to school. At school, everyone was waiting to pick on me. And then the phone rang. Even the teacher was there. All my classmates, excluding myself, were dead. Of course, I was shocked. But the fact that I was relieved that I wouldn't be bullied anymore was undeniable. Wasn't I fighting against that? I didn't fight. I just continued letting myself be bullied as I was told. I was unexpectedly saved by an exchange student, and then harassed by a yōkai. Then I was saved again by this accident. I didn't fight at all. I've just been led around by chance and the whims of others. Fight bullying? What a ridiculous thing to say. But I'm not wrong. Hi, I'm Yukari Sakaki. Nice to meet you. That was a disaster, wasn't it? Let's pull through together as a new class. Everyone treat her well, okay? I had been transferred to another class. A new class. I didn't know a single face. For some reason, now that thought was comforting to me. As I sat in my new seat, I was surrounded by girls welcoming me. And because of the shocking incident resulting in the deaths of all my classmates, thinking I surely must have been mentally scarred, they kindly comforted me. No one said I stank. Rather, they warmly greeted me as new friends. In this class, I can start over. Mixed in with those girls was that yōkai, Marie. Think you'll get along in your new class? Yes, this time I'll work hard to make a lot of friends starting with 0. Yeah, and I'm sorry. I was useless, really. No, it was you. That day I thought about killing myself. It was you who told me not to do it. Thank you. And thank you for fighting to protect me. Marie hadn't expected being thanked at all and shyly looked away. A lot has happened. A lot has happened, but I feel I learned a lot of important things. And what's that? That you have to fight bullying. You don't fight it. It's the same as allowing it to happen. People who torment others and people who pretend not to see it happening, they are all equally bullies. And I will never be a bully. That's going to be really hard though. You're right. If the whole class becomes bullies, I don't think I'll be able to stand up to them myself. But if it's against the seed that starts bullying, even someone as powerless as myself can fight against that. Yukari-chan, you're strong. Bullying is a sad thing, and why it can't be allowed to continue. That's something only someone who has been bullied can understand. So I have to be the one to fight it. Yeah, I'll be rooting for you, Yukari-chan. Marie thought, if only she had that kind of strength when she was alive. With the gentle flowing of the curtains, a cool breeze enters the classroom. That breeze, little by little, causes Marie's body to fade. Marie-san? It seems it's about time for us to say farewell. I don't have any yōkai power left. I have to take it easy and rest for a while. For Marie, who had absolutely no yōkai strength, it was difficult to remain in the bright, shadowless classroom. Goodbye, Yukari-chan. I'm glad I met you, because it's you who gave me an answer to the regrets I had in life. It was nothing. Besides, if I didn't learn from you, I would have wasted my own precious life. Live well, because there are no flowers that bloom in death. If there are, they are the ones that bloom to laugh at the pitiful dead. The unforgiving flowers that blossom in the dead of night. Roll credits. No, not yet. I don't think we'll meet again, but I won't forget you. I won't either. I won't forget you, and I won't forget everything we've done in this short time, and I won't forget what I've learned from it. Humans are truly wonderful, aren't they? As long as they live, they can learn anything. Even if they fall to their knees, they certainly have the strength and the will to stand up again. Goodbye, Yukari-chan. Take care. With a warm smile, Marie's figure disappears. Yukari's expression was also a warm one. Blowing the curtains, a pleasant breeze enters the classroom. The air was fresh. The stagnant air of the old classroom was no more. In this new classroom, I'll give it my all. Oh no, fucking what? Shut up, you freaking stink. Suddenly she could hear someone's insults, but they weren't directed at Yukari. Taking a look, there was a group of boys crowding around and mocking a weak-looking boy. The boy being bullied was asking for them to stop with his forced smile. But they weren't about to listen to him. They're doing it again. I don't like this. The girls scowled and whispered to one another. Thump. Yukari stands up from her seat. She knew what she had to do. Without hesitation, she acted without fear. Hey, you boys over there. Oh, man. Yeah, that was a really good one. Oh, new elements. What have I unlocked? Let's have a quick look. Well, first of all, this is this different? I feel like it's different. Library, music room. Oh, we've got full body sprites. Nice. Hey, this nurse didn't do anything. Interesting. I thought she might become a major character at some point. Yeah. Ah. Oh, it just says Sumire rather than Reiko. Okay. Oh, come on. I want to hear that. There's also a music room. Ooh. Wow. Play only scary tunes. What? Oh. I'm not sure. I can't translate these names. Like Hitori Bachi. Oh, Eternal Loneliness. Huh. Interesting. Well, we've done... Let's get out of this. How do I get back out? Right, so that was all the chapters of Higanbana no Saku Yoru ni the first night. I will continue with the second night because I've really been enjoying this. I heard that this was not as good as Umineka or Higurashi. And while it doesn't meet up to the level of, shall we say, the scale of those stories, because they're a lot more. This is a series. This is an anthology series of small stories, whereas those are large stories. That's not to make this one invalid. This one's good. Like, apart from one or two chapters which were not as good as the rest of them, but you can't expect all of them to be 10 out of 10s. This is solid. I really enjoyed this. And it's, you know, it raises Ryukishi 07 in my mind, in my estimation as, you know, an author. I know he's going to work in that new Silent Hill game. I really hope that Konami don't interfere, because I am now really looking forward to that. But for those of you who've been watching this, I thank you. Thank you for watching these. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you enjoyed these stories. I hope you've come to have the same appreciation for Ryukishi 07's writing style, even if it's a bit oddly translated. If you haven't checked out Higurashi or Umen Echo, definitely check those out. And when I eventually get around to Higanbana the second night, please check that out. But until then, I hope to see you guys again. Good night, everyone.